You are here for a reason, and you chose to come here to this earth at this time for a very, very important reason. And I truly believe that your spirit was prepared for this time. Even with everything going on in the world right now, you are prepared for this. Your spirit is fully prepared for anything and everything that you're going to be experiencing in this earth life. And we have felt really inspired to have a real talk with you guys about the things that we feel are so important for us to be discussing at this time with all of you. And we know that the people that can hear this and receive it are ready for it. So we don't want this to be a talk that's just like full of fear or anything. We're really focusing on truth. And truth is power. Truth is truly, it's power. It's powerful. And we need to we are waking up more and more as a people. And we're meeting people every single day that are more and more awake all the time. And sometimes that can feel like a little bit lonely, right? Where you feel like you're the only one, maybe in your family, the only one that's really seeing the truth of like things that are going on in the world. But I promise you that if you're feeling that way, you are prepared for this time. You have everything you need within you to get through this time in the world.
And we need you. You are needed. Other people around you, this world needs what you have brought with you to offer. We need everybody here. We need everybody's gifts. I believe that everyone has been given an abundance of at least one thing. Probably all of the time, many more.
Yeah.
But everyone has an abundance of something. And that thing that you have an abundance of is what you have to give others and where you can do the most good. So you've just been given so much, and we need that abundance. And it's so fulfilling when we can offer that abundance to others. And right now is the time to really look into yourself, discover, hone in on what that abundance is, what those gifts are that you have, those skills, those spiritual gifts that you've been given, and that will be delivered through you to others.
Yes.
Because we need it so much. And so, like, I would invite you to write down what my gifts are, what my abundance is, and truthfully, what makes your heart sing and what you are drawn to is what you are here to do.
Yes.
And it's not too good to be true.
Yes.
Like, I think sometimes we have this belief where, oh, I really want to do that, but I just need to be this, or I just need to do that. No. Where your heart is calling you, God has planted seeds in your heart for you to follow and grow and nourish, and where those seeds are, those desires are where you're going to do your amazing work here.
Yes.
And we need you.
Yes. Yes, everyone needs to be showing up with their gifts and using them. And Melissa's right. It's like some people that I meet with will say, like, I don't feel like I have any gifts. I don't feel like I know what my purpose is here. And one of the easy ways to recognize what your purpose is, what your gifts are, is the things that come naturally to you, the things that bring you joy, the things that light you up in this life. Those are the things that those are meant to be part of your life. That is part of your life purpose, like you being here. So it's not a coincidence. All you have to do is look at the things that you love.
Yeah.
Things that light you up and that you're drawn to.
That make you feel alive.
Yep.
That fulfill you.
Exactly. Like that make you just feel whole again and make you're just like buzzing with happiness and joy and excitement when you're doing those things or when you're even thinking about them. Sometimes you can go back to your childhood if you're like, I can't think of anything. Go back to your childhood. Think of the things that you loved to do. Like, I know that as a mom, like raising my little kids, I kind of lost sight of what I loved to do. And then I started thinking of like, what did I love as a child? I loved being outside. Like, I just wanted to be in nature. I just wanted to be with my family. I just wanted to be I just, anything interacting with like animals and stuff like that, like I love those things. And so look at your childhood and see what are the things that you just felt super drawn to and connected with, and that's also going to be like, it's really going to show you what you're leaning towards with your life purpose, why you came here to this earth, because you came here for a greater purpose than like you can ever imagine. So tune in to what your purpose is and what your spiritual gifts are, because they're the things that come natural.
Yeah. And we need them right now, because there's so much. Should we talk about, like, there's so much going on in this world, like, and we both kind of feel like this is just the beginning, like that these kinds of things are going to continue to roll out. And what we're talking about is, what I'm seeing is there's a venting going on. So like when a person is sick or ill, your body will do a venting. It will vent out, and it will look like symptoms. And the symptoms are, if you have a cold, your nose is running and your eyes are watery and you might have a fever. And that is a venting process. That's a natural healing process that the body goes through. We are seeing the same thing on our planet. There is a venting of symptoms. There are things coming up and out of the cracks and they're being exposed. And healing is messy, and it's not always pretty. It can be kind of ugly, but we're seeing that happening. It's like we can barely catch our breath, and then there's another thing. And that's because all of this needs to come out, be vented, be exposed, because we can't go where we need to go as a people, as a planet, without venting out these things that are no longer serving us. Some structure, some organization, some things that are happening behind the scenes, behind closed doors, that are they're not okay. And we're seeing that all come about right now in 2020. It really is the year of like perfect vision.
Yes, we are seeing so clearly right now, and there's a lot of people that don't want to see it and want to believe. I mean, truly at our core, we don't want to believe in like the things happening in the world, that little children are being harmed in any way. Like at our core, every single person with the spirit knows like that's just never ever okay. And I think that's where people want to like turn away, and they just want to say there's no way that could possibly be happening in this world. And it's time to really see with a clear vision, and we can't turn away anymore. Like we're way beyond that. We've got to look at things even that like make us uncomfortable. We need to be able to look at these things, and we need to just have a better knowledge of it. So I was telling Melissa that like a few days ago I had a dream / vision, because I kept kind of waking up throughout the dream, and it just like continued. And then even when I woke up in the morning, throughout the day, I was still like seeing this stuff happening. And what I was seeing, what I thought was interesting, was at first I saw visions of the earth like in the future, you guys, when things were already healed and the earth was healed, and it was beyond like anything my human brain could even like fully comprehend. But it was incredible, and we understood that we were one and we were all connected, and it was incredible. And I knew that the earth would eventually heal at some point. I don't know how long that is going to be, but I know that that's going to happen. But then I was shown how much we would be going through in the
like
days to
leading up
come,
to it.
like coming soon. And so I was telling Melissa that the night before I had this dream, like I set intentions to receive insight. I prayed, I asked to receive just insights that I was ready to receive, and then I knew that anything that I would receive, I was prepared for and ready for. So I wrote, when I woke up, I told my husband I just had this like I dreamed like all night long, received all this information, and I took out a notebook and I just started writing as fast as I could. And this is like automatic writing. You don't put punctuations, you don't do anything. You're just writing as fast as you can, trying to get all this information out. And so there was a lot of stuff that came up, and but one of the things was that came across several times was that the darkness cannot exist in the world that we're moving into, and it cannot exist in our future, in the future of this world. It will not exist. And so we can see this darkness coming out now, all these things that are coming out in the media, and all these things coming out, the truth of things, and people are going to continue to write them off as, it's just what's the word for it? Conspiracy theories and things like that.
There's truth underneath that. They don't just come from nowhere, right?
Exactly. There is truth.
They're not pulled out of thin air.
Yep.
There's truth underneath a lot of it.
Yep, exactly. So listen to your heart, and don't just take truth for like when you hear it. Like really, like dig deep and listen to your heart about what if you feel like that resonates as truth for you, and write about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
See if you can pray and get more insight about these things, because that is really important.
Like, don't just take our word for it, because we each have this ability to be able to because like it's kind of our divine right as divine beings and as children of God to be able to seek truth and receive answers to truth. So what we're telling you, you take to God yourself and ask and receive your own understanding, your own witness, your own guidance for yourself and your family, and what that looks like to be prepared and to stand up for what is right, to stand up for what is truth, to expose the darkness that needs to vent out and release, so that we really can heal as a people and as a planet.
Yes, exactly. That because our spirit was called to do something here on this earth, and to do many things actually. And so it's so important to pay attention to the things that you feel really inspired to speak up about. And as you know, like I've been connected to the spirit world my whole entire life, and spirit speaks to me, and my loved ones speak to me who have passed on. And something that is really, really important for you to know is that our loved ones are helping us through all of this. We are not alone in this.
Not alone.
We are surrounded, and I can feel it right now.
Mm-hmm.
We are surrounded with so much love, so much support, like beyond what we can really even comprehend. So just know you are not alone in this, even if you feel like you're alone going through this process. And just know that your loved ones are like they show me images of holding your hands.
Yes.
And so
it's an army.
Yes.
You have an army behind you.
Yes. So
an unseen army.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you truly have an army. And so if you feel like you need to speak up about something, just know that. Just know that you have an army with you that is behind you, that is saying, yes, like speak your truth. It's time to speak your truth. It's time to stand up. This is a time of change. This is a time of healing. This is a time of moving forward. And your loved ones are with you every step of the way. They're fully aware of what you're going through in your life. Your loved ones are not separated from you. They're not in some far off place. They're very much witnessing what you're going through. And they know your needs. Call on your angels at all times. Call on your angels. They're there to support you. And they're waiting
for us to ask for help.
Yep.
That's one of the ways, like if you're a prayerful person and you ask for help, how do you think that help comes?
Yep.
One of the ways is through angels and through angelic beings, and a lot of them are your family that has come before, that still have that vested interest in you, and it's their joy to help you and to be a support to you.
Yes. And when we ask, I've been shown that it's like opening a doorway. It's like opening a doorway. They're able to come into your life and do more for you than than if we didn't ask. I feel like they are doing the simple things in our life that they're capable of doing, but we have free will, and that's actually a beautiful gift that we are given.
They honor agency.
They do.
They're not going to force anything on you that you aren't wanting or want to receive.
Exactly. So when we talk about the future and what's coming, I've always felt like I receive insights and possibilities. Now, possibilities, the reason why I call them possibilities, because things are ever changing because of free will, because of our free agency. We and every single person on this planet has free agency. So as far as like knowing exactly what's going to happen in the future, I've never felt like that is even like a possibility, because that you can tune into exactly what's going to happen, because things are ever changing. And so my whole life I've tuned into possibilities, like things that could happen. And I feel like it's a voice of warning sometimes, of like, be prepared for this, be prepared for that. And if something changes, then you'll be prepared, for whatever happens. And so prepare, that's why we've been doing all of these classes. We want to help prepare. We want to be like a voice of warning. We want to also be someone that we wanted to speak our truth and share the things that we felt really inspired to share. And so like we hope that this can help you to want to speak your truth, speak up. Maybe it's in your family, maybe it's online somewhere, but it's so important to speak your truth, say the things that are in your heart, because I know what it feels like to be holding back things.
Yeah.
When you feel like it's really important to speak up.
We're not meant to suppress, right?
Yeah.
And if there were ever a time to share or step into your power, it would be now. Not only is darkness being vented, but light is being illuminated.
Yes.
More and more. Like there's opposition in all things, and there will be equal light to the darkness that we're seeing. And it's good to be aware of the darkness, because we can empower ourselves, and that knowledge is power. But then when we know that there's an equal amount of light, we can be looking for that. And you guys, the light comes from you. If you are looking for answers or what is true, you're the answer.
Yeah.
Okay? You have heaven behind you to help you fulfill what you came here to do, and that light comes through you. And the more of us that accept that and receive that and step into that power and that light, then the greater good we can do on this planet, and the more we can help our brothers and sisters heal, and this planet heal, and we can move into a really beautiful time.
Yes, we are beings of light, you guys. Don't forget it. And some of us are searching like the whole world over for answers, or searching, Googling our answers and looking online for our answers. It's all in here, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It is in you. You have everything you are searching for, everything. So if you feel like you're lacking something, maybe dig deeper and look within yourself and realize you'll find it. You'll find it within you. And then we're surrounded with people that are amazing and gifted, and it's not a coincidence when people come into your life, ever. I've learned that over and over and over throughout my life, that there's a reason why people come into your life. Sometimes you learn things from each other. Sometimes you are going to go through an experience together and growing together, and sometimes you have something to offer them.
Yes.
And so it goes back and forth. And I love, it's something that the Native Americans taught a long time ago, and they would teach that it is so important to know that we can't, not everyone can gather firewood. If we did that, we'd have a massive pile of firewood, and we wouldn't have anything else that is needed. So that's why our gifts are so important. We need to be using our gifts. We need to bring our gifts to the table of what do we do best? Like, are you a good teacher? Are you an amazing seamstress? Are you a good cook? Do you have a ton of knowledge about gardening? Do you have everyone has their expertise, the things that they've spent a lot of time learning about, and I promise you, it's all really important and useful and needed, and especially the things that you're drawn to, like that makes your heart sing.
Yeah.
Like those are the things that you're going to need to speak up and teach about, because there's no coincidence about it. So we can't all gather firewood, and we shouldn't all gather firewood. We need to be using all of our gifts. Everyone needs to be doing their part.
And I think, like, don't you think that the more light that's coming, the more our gifts will illuminate, like the stronger they will become, the more powerful they will be, and also the more we may even discover that we may have gifts we didn't know we had. Like I won't say how old I am, but I'm in my 30s, and I didn't even know I had certain gifts until I was like 5 years ago. And so they come at the perfect time.
Yeah.
You're right on time. Everything comes right on time.
Yes.
And our job is just to be open and willing and seeking and be an active participant in contributing to what this world needs and what our neighbors need and our friends need, and showing up for each other.
Yeah, because some people do feel like, I'm so late in the game, like, why haven't I discovered my gifts? Why haven't I, like, gotten really good at any one thing? And it's not too late. There is a purpose for everything that you've gone through in your life. Even if you've struggled and you've gone through some really hard things, look at what you learned from those experiences. I promise you those are going to be incredible tools that are going to serve you and serve the people around you. It's not a coincidence that you've gone through the things that you have gone through. And I learned that years ago, going through depression and dealing with anxiety. And I learned way down the road later on that all those skills that I was learning on how to cope and deal with stress and anxiety and panic attacks and everything, that I was going to be working with clients. Like, I didn't know that at the time. And then I was able to help those clients and teach them those things that I had learned through the hard, difficult things I went through. So I promise you, the things that you're going through in your life, the really, really difficult things you have been through, just ask yourself, what did I learn from that? And those are things that you're meant to teach other people.
Yeah, they're not just
Super
for you.
Mm-mm.
They're jewels to be shared.
Yes. Yep. And gifts are meant to be shared.
Yeah.
Gifts are meant to be given and shared, and they're not meant to be kept like on a shelf in your closet. Like, it's important that we're sharing our gifts openly with the world, with each other. Your story is important. The things that you've gone through in your life and your story, the experiences you've been through, are really important because it inspires other people. Your story is important and needs to be heard. And you have a lot of things to just share and teach with the world. And both of us have felt like, you know, as we move into the fall, as we move into winter this year, this is the year of 2020 vision. Things are going to get more and more clear. Things are going to come up more and more. And I truly believe that, you know, that things are going to go more and more mainstream. Like, things are going to come out more about people and about things that are really going on in the world that
have been hidden.
Have been hidden for a really long time. And so it's going to be time to start looking at these things, really recognizing what is truly going on, praying about it for yourself, but talking to your families about it too. This shouldn't be something that's like, okay, we're not going to talk about this. We're just going to, you know, just the adults are going to talk about it. It's actually super important to be educating our kids. They're a lot smarter than you think. They're getting this, whether you're talking to them about it or not.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're on their smartphones. They have access to a lot of the stuff and online and everything. So if you're not talking to them about it, someone else is, and it might not be shared in the way that you want it to be. So talk to your kids. Make sure that they're involved in everything that's going on. It's really super important. Talk to them about all the things that we just talked about today. Like, that, you know, their gifts are meant to be shared. Talk to them about their spiritual gifts, and have some family nights where you're like talking about what are your spiritual gifts, or what is a spiritual gift, or what do you feel like, what lights you up, and those conversations are super important, and we need to be getting into a place where we feel so empowered and so strong and so connected to our purpose that whatever is to come, it will not throw us off. It's not going to scare us and put us into fear mode. One of the things that I was told over and over and over is was not to project my fears into the future, which was super important.
I love that so much.
It's so important because we could be continuously like throwing our fears out into the future of what if that, what if this, but we need to stay in a place of empowerment and not fear, and know like if that happens, if a thought comes to you, then I'm going to stand in my power and I'm going to do my best to react to this the best way I know how, but not putting your fear out into the future. And another thing was that was to just be a witness of what's going on, like witness what's happening in the world, but stand in your light. Stand in your light and your power and your strength. And don't get distracted by the things that are going on in the world. Like observe it and step back. Like don't take it on emotionally and energetically, because it will affect you if you allow that to happen. So that's super important.
Yeah, don't collapse into it. Don't become those things that you fear. Don't like fall into that. Like hold your ground, hold that light. And really, rather than projecting fear, like Michelle said, she learned that we ought not to do that. We can be creating beauty, like, because where's the goodness going to come from? Where is the beautiful future on the horizon coming from? It's coming from those of you who are willing to be participatory in the creation of a beautiful place that we're going to. And you get to be a part of that, so you can put your focus there.
Yes. Don't lose sight of what you want to create in this world. I think sometimes when a lot of things happen in the world, it's even during the spring of this year, like some people just went into panic mode, and right off the bat they were like, well, there goes my hopes and dreams for this and this and this. And we cannot lose sight of those things, even if a lot of crazy things happen in this world. We have to hold on to our hopes and dreams of what we want to create. So stay in creation mode. Write about your hopes and dreams of what you want to create in the future, because I promise you it is going to be so important that you do not lose sight of that. You need it. We need every one of us like holding on to those things that we want to create.
Yes, conscious creators.
Yes. So
anything else?
I know that we're gonna dive way deeper on.
We're gonna do more
on our. We're gonna
real
do
talk.
More real talk like this, but also on our Facebook group. I know that the people that go there, we just know that they're like awakened souls. They're ready for this information, and we're gonna be able to talk like really openly about this stuff.
And like, don't take our word for it. Like, we want your contribution. We know that you have so much to add, and we can learn from each other. So we look forward to hearing from you what you have to share, because we benefit from what you share as well.
Yes, we're learning and growing
together.
Yep. So look for the miracles in your life.
Yeah.
Every single day, look for those miracles, and just focus on the gratitude. It's super important, and we're just excited to keep moving together with you guys.
Yeah, and we're in it together, and we have an army behind us.
Yep.
So
we can do anything.
Yay, we can. Happy healing.
Yes. Bye, guys.